Hey everybody, welcome back to more ARMA 3 editing. We're continuing progress on Operation Gone Dark. Got a pretty decent basis set up here. We got a couple triggers down, we got some scripts firing off. Still a lot to do on this mission. My last couple videos have been quite long. I think one was like 45 minutes, one was like an hour and a half. I'm going to start trying to break these up into 30-minute segments. Make it a little bit easier to kind of go through, and who wants to sit there for an hour and a half and listen to me talk? I certainly don't. So, we're going to shoot for that, but let's go ahead and get started here. We left off last episode kind of talking about like some additional objectives. And so what I'm kind of planning on doing here is I'm going to do an optional objective to take out some anti-aircraft encampments. And what this is going to do, so this is going to be a little bit on a how to explain here. So basically what I want to have happen is the squad's basically going to run the mission. And there's going to be, when they run the mission, what occurs in that mission is going to be progressive. Okay, so what I'd like to do is if they kill the warlord and then they don't take out the enemy AA encampments, it means that the next mission I make in the series will involve them not being able to resupply, or they're going to have less resupply points. And if they do take out the AA and are able to call in an evac, then they'll be able to get like full restock, etc. Right? This isn't going to be conveyed until after the mission occurs. It'll be like an after mission thought, and it just adds a little bit more depth. Right? You got one chance to make this really go through. You got one chance to really do this wholeheartedly, and like an actual squad would do. So that's kind of my plan there, is why I'm going to do that optional objective. That's kind of going to be the result. I think I'm just going to do one. We've talked about keeping this a little bit more simple, so let's go ahead and set up a optional trigger. So we have our ending trigger here, which we're happy with. I'm going to have to figure this out, because if you kill this guy, now we're into a different problem, because right now our ending trigger fires when the two objectives are complete, which is making contact with our intel guy and then killing this dude. So we're gonna have to think that out a little bit, but not right now. It's a problem for a later date. Might make it where the ending trigger is I'm not positive I want to do that yet. But regardless, let's go ahead and set up this AA trigger. Let's not worry too much about placement right now. Let's go ahead and just put a trigger. Not a trigger, but a create task. It's going to be optional task 1. I guess I should abbreviate a little bit, because I typically do keep track of everything. This will be for, I believe, for... yeah, we'll just do all blue for. So do optional task 1. Let's do optional eliminate air. We'll worry about our descriptions later. we'll go ahead and do 2 marker locations. We'll see how that works. Let's go ahead and do AA1. Or if you separate this by columns or not. Oh, I don't know how you're gonna do this. Wait. How do you set 2 locations for 1 task? Oh, we'll do set task destination. Okay. Created. Let's go ahead and set our task succeeded. Succeeded. Let's do set task destination just for testing purposes. Alright. So now we need to figure out what's going to set that task to succeeded. Let's just kind of double check what we got going in here. Looks like we just have a trigger that's synced to there. Let's go ahead and do this for this guy. Got our trigger here. Optional task. Task 1 trig. Condition not alive. AA. Yeah, I'll do AA1. And AA2. Alright. Just gonna sync that to that guy. Let's go ahead and create some temporary AA. Yeah, we're not going to blow up a Tigris for testing. Let's go ahead and just do this. We'll just set these guys. Can't set these guys just on the road here, so I know where they're at. Just give them no ammunition, so he can't shoot me. So this is going to be A1. This is going to be A2. Let's disable AI. Move. Just let it move away. Let's go ahead and make sure our trigger is going to work here. Most annoying part. Not alive. Weird. I don't know what. Surprised that didn't work. Let's take a look. Should just be and. Do we have our ending trigger set like that, right? do wrong? Shouldn't need to be in quotes. Not alive. Well, I wonder if that doesn't make any sense. Let's see here. This is really old. Yeah, this is old. Yeah, I should have posted your solution, buddy. I wonder if it is, quotations maybe is what I'm missing? Because it is a unit. This is my first guess, but... Oh. Alive is a string and it's expecting an object. This is exactly what I'm looking for. This looks much cleaner. Less than 1, which means 0. Let's go ahead and use that code. A1, A2. The alive count is less than 1. Okay. See how this goes. It only created one of our task destinations, so we'll need to take a look at that. You're dead. And it works. Alright. So first things first on this. Only one task destination is showing up. We'll need to figure that out. Since we're going to have multiple AA points, as well as we need to get it to only fire off when this trigger's fired, which is easy enough. All we need to do is just sync this to create that task. So this task will not be created until this trigger fires, which is our first task of gaining our intel. So let's see. I'm almost wondering if we should do set task destination. I bet we can just do A1 marker, A2 marker. Let's go and try that. Doesn't really matter what we use at this point. Alright. I guess I should have held off on that because now I'm going to have to do two things at once, but that's alright. Actually, once we do the first one, I should just create it and show our tasks, so it should be easier actually. Intel. Did not work. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that's doing. So R3 set task destination module, or okay, well, let's look at this first. So what's that? Let's look at both these. Okay. Intel module create task, marker name here. Okay, I probably need quotes. Let's try it with quotes. Alright. That's been created. is that not working? See, ARMA 3, multiple destination with task modules. You know what? I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to have static placements for these AA guys. And we'll just do, when this triggers, on activation, we'll have it do a one marker set marker alpha alpha 1 a 2 marker set marker alpha 1. Okay. Let's put our temp markers here. So be A1 marker marker. Set our alpha to 0. Okay, so that fires and that happens. Triggers that. Oh wait. That doesn't work for us. Actually, we should just copy that. Because that's only triggering when the guys are actually killed. That doesn't help us. Now let's see initialization. Well, you know what? I think that might work for us actually. Because when I don't think this is going to be get initialized until that. Let's see. Yeah, it's initializing the start of the mission. That's not good. Multiple destinations should not be that hard. Oh, you know what? I have a grand old idea. Right here. That'll do it. So a trigger that goes off when the gain intel objective is completed will now fire off, making those alphas 1. Right, invisible markers. Gain our intel. Perfect. And we have our markers. Cool. Alright, optional task created. I think it's gonna be good for us to kind of start keeping track of what else we need to do in this mission here. So we've got our triggers working here. Let's kind of go over what we want out of this mission. Limited weapon selection, which we've already accomplished. We've already stripped our units. See, intel units to give information on enemy location. Random spawn for intel unit. Interviews for civilians to track location of intel units. This is probably best done in a spreadsheet, but I'll clean it up for next episode. Let's just kind of get a brief outline here. Okay, limited weapon selection, intel unit to give it information on enemy location, a random spawn for intel unit, interview for civilians to track location of intel unit, optional objective to eliminate to extract, consequences on next mission. Main objective, eliminating the officer, general, whatever we got going on in there. Officer spawn in random location. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that one, because then we're gonna have to switch our task destination to a marker. If so, module needs to be set to marker for destination. Okay. What else we want out of this? Still need enemy placement. Need to revisit our ending trigger to account for the optional trigger. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of stuff. I know there's a bunch of more stuff that we need to do. But this is going to help me keep on track, or else I'm going to get really sidetracked and the mission's going to get out of control. So for next episode, I'm actually going to go ahead and clean this up, get a nice little spreadsheet. That way we can just mark off things as we find them completed. So that's going to do it for our next episode of our editing series here on Operation Gone Dark. I think we're pretty much done with our objectives at this point. We're going to be looking at kind of getting everything set up. We'll start getting kind of enemy placement down here soon, as well as we'll decide whether we want to do random spawns or not for enemy location. It would be kind of cool to kind of put them like in the middle of the city or somewhere like that randomly, but we'll go ahead and play around with that as well. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.